What I'm going to share with you today has literally changed my entire perception of a career in real estate and opened my eyes to the possibility of what this career can actually be. And I think it just might change yours too. Hi, I'm Samara. I'm a dog lover, loyal wife, and top producing real estate agent in Spokane, Washington. I've spent the last 7 years building a highly successful transaction business alongside a notable regional real estate firm while also building a prominent personal brand that continues to gain traction and bring in my ideal client. I started my real estate business at the young age of 26. It feels really young looking back now. I really had no idea what it would look like to build a successful real estate business. I just knew my 9 to 5 job was not where I wanted to spend the rest of my working days. If I was going to work, I wanted to be excited to get up every day and do whatever I do and actually make an impact in people's lives in the process. I was not an entrepreneurial person when I started my business, but my persistence and grit helped me to succeed quickly and create a business that I love. Along the way, there was a lot of sacrifice of personal time, time with my family, and a complete loss of my comfort zone. Post-pandemic, it became really clear that I was burning out. I was networking 3 days a week, 3+ coffees, lunches, dinners per week. It was crucial in my success, but I was so drained. I felt so badly that I needed a change, but at the time, I didn't feel like there was a suitable alternative to the firm I had always called home. After 4 years in the business, I began building in a way that really no one else in my firm was. I saw the potential of social media, building funnels, and I had dreams of creating additional revenue streams, something my old firm would have never taught or encouraged, but I didn't have anyone around me to draw inspiration from. I loved my old firm. It's why I started my business there and why I stayed as long as I did. I can attribute so much of my success to their coaching and trainings. I created a strong and consistent flow of business with their support. But after 5 years of sharing loads of feedback, tons of staff turnover, and no change, the growth opportunities just weren't there anymore. Nothing that was being taught was new to me. It didn't feel innovative or in alignment with the business I saw for myself. But a move just seemed completely overwhelming, and no other firm felt like a hell yes to me. I remember the day I told my managing broker that I wanted to hire a social media manager, something I actually did end up doing in 2021. He told me, all you need is a Keeping Current Matters account. Why would you hire a social media manager? It was this closed-minded approach that kicked off my search for a big change and growth opportunities. One day when I was doing the social media scroll, Amy Gregory shared the face of a local colleague being a member of Powerhouse. I knew that she had left the same firm I was at to go to EXP, but I had no idea she had joined Powerhouse. I had heard of EXP, but never considered it an option until that moment. I immediately reached out to schedule coffee with her, learn more about why she made the move, and if the hype was actually real. After our meeting, I couldn't believe how open I was to actually moving my business to EXP, but I'm a skeptic, so I really did my research. I was already a work from home girl, so the lack of a physical office really didn't bother me, but my questions extended so far beyond that. I spoke to several members of the Powerhouse organization to see if they shared the same experience. What was the local support like in my market? What were agents in Powerhouse learning, and how was it growing their businesses? Now, you have to know I was yearning for a change, but I was not going to move to a new firm just to realize my mistake and move again 6 months later. My previous brokerage treated me well, and the brand is prominent and trustworthy with a huge market share in my service area. Building a strong community of agents has been a huge focal point of my business over the last 2 years. And to witness the type of collaboration that was happening in this room, I just couldn't unsee it. Plus the insane benefits offered by EXP to their brokers. This was nothing like what my firm could offer. You see, we're often taught there's only one way to scale in real estate: build a big team, rent office space, buy leads, hire more agents, do more and more transactions, then rinse and repeat. Open another office space, and on it goes. I get it, it works, but it didn't work for me. I'm happy being a solo agent responsible only to myself and my clients. I'm also completely uninterested in the overhead and output required to run a successful brokerage or team. Being introduced to EXP made me start to evaluate opportunities and assess them under a variety of variables. The big question I was circling on was, what could my life look like if I learned how to build my business differently in a way that creates more time for the things that are most important to me? So the question is this: how in the world does a solo agent like me use EXP's model to scale and build alongside the big boys? I always like to say EXP is the great equalizer, and to understand why, we need to pull back and see the big picture of business building as a whole. Historically, we can see that industries are transformed when disruptive technology is introduced. Blockbuster is a perfect example. Blockbuster Video was a massive $5 billion company with over 9,000 brick and mortar stores. They completely dominated the industry, right? Netflix, on the other hand, had no stores, but they came along with a new model that grew into a streaming service, and within a few short years, they had put Blockbuster completely out of business. The same thing happened with the travel industry. Do you remember going to your travel agent to book a vacation or a cruise? Not anymore. Travelocity, hotels.com, and all the travel sites, they changed all of that. We've seen the same thing happen with the taxi industry and Uber, and it happened in the hotel and accommodation industry with Airbnb. Airbnb doesn't own any hotel rooms. They're a cloud-based company as well. Perhaps, though, the most obvious example of industry disruption is the retail industry and Amazon. There are thousands of brick and mortar stores that shut down every single year, while Amazon, well, they're doing better than ever. Across the board, cloud-based companies have disrupted these industries, and now that same industry-changing disruption is happening in real estate. EXP Realty is a cloud-based, technology-driven real estate company that has brought the most innovative changes we've seen in the real estate industry in over 100 years. The old traditional real estate brokerage model typically works like this. There's a big international company at the top, RE/MAX, Century 21, Coldwell Banker, Sotheby's. Then they divide the country into regions. From there, they create franchises which broker owners purchase. Those brokers and owners then have to hire managers and recruiters and office staff who will all need a place to go. So they rent office space and buy equipment and pay utilities. The brokers and owners take on most of the risk, paying for the office space, then paying more to fill it with coffee machines, internet, desks, computers, and coffee pots. Underneath all of those expenses is the agent who prospects the client, does the transaction, and collects the commission, which then needs to pay for all of that overhead. Their commissions get divided up to pay the broker, who pays the franchise, who pays the region, who pays the big international company at the very top. This model is all fine and good. It's clearly worked for several decades, but now the internet exists, making this top-heavy model incredibly difficult to sustain long-term. It's inefficient, stunts growth of the agent, and doesn't allow for collaboration. EXP Realty is the new model. It's a cloud-based, technology-driven company that eliminates costly commercial office space because it's all in the cloud, which means it eliminates millions of dollars of bloated expenses. Just like Airbnb and Uber don't carry all of that overhead, neither does EXP, which means all that freed up money now goes back to making the agents' businesses and lives better in two major ways. The first is that it invests in creating and providing the best business systems possible to support agents. Systems to help streamline their work so they can do more in less time. This frees up the agent's time and allows them to be more efficient in their business. The second is that it puts more money back into the agent's pocket, which in turn allows them more opportunities to create additional revenue streams inside their businesses because the agent now has more time and more capital. Through EXP's model, we're seeing more agents begin to think like CEOs instead of employees, and they're building very robust, profitable, and scalable businesses in a variety of ways. At EXP, the agent, that's you, is not at the bottom like the old model. Instead, the agent is at the top because we actually share in the ownership of the company, and we're backed directly by a multi-billion-dollar international tech company. When I worked at my previous brokerage, I didn't hold any ownership in the company. In fact, after looking at the EXP model versus the traditional brokerage model, I realized that me working there was the same as working at a Blockbuster. It didn't matter how successful I helped make the company because I'd never hold any ownership. And now, working at EXP, my efforts to increase my business and the business of other agents around me directly impacts me because I hold ownership in the company. Let's break down how and why this works so well. There are three major components to EXP's innovative model. First is our cloud office. It's a virtual office that allows you to work from anywhere. These are the business systems I was telling you about that allow you to streamline your work and create more efficiencies in your business. EXP World is a cloud campus that allows you to attend meetings and classes and collaborate seamlessly with agents around the world. Have a question for your broker? Simply walk into their office during office hours and ask. An agent's ability to access their broker, company resources, collaborate with other agents, and attend classes is unparalleled with EXP World. At my previous firm, I was limited to my local office for support and resources. Now, agents are able to cross-train across state lines. Have a question about a commission check? Head to accounting and ask. Looking for more education? Aren't we all? Good news, there's over 50 hours of live education every single week. Even better, it's being taught by other successful agents that are in the trenches with you right now. How amazing for me, a solo agent in Spokane, Washington, to have the ability to learn from agents in North Carolina, California, Michigan, and everywhere around the country. You cannot put a price tag on that collaboration. It's literally shaved years of struggle and figuring it out in my business. You can attend classes that cover lead generation, social media, CRM management, farming, and so much more. Let me ask you a question. How much education and collaboration does your current company offer? What is your current ability to pick up the phone and have access to people that are 5 or 10 years ahead of you in this business to advise you? Because let me tell you, the amount of education combined with collaboration is like nothing I've ever seen before at EXP. It is unparalleled in this industry. On top of that, every agent at EXP gets the most powerful CRM and lead generation platform available today. It's called KV Core. Non-EXP agents pay $600 per month for this service. That's $7,000 a year. This system sends buyer and seller leads right to your phone, clients that are ready to buy right now, clients that are ready to sell right now. And KV Core is included for every EXP agent as part of their $85 monthly fee. KV Core is the industry-leading system that provides you with a personalized IDX website, CRM, email, and text campaigns, squeeze pages, landing pages, and the possibilities to create so much more. You also get SkySlope, which is the top transaction management software in the industry. SkySlope allows every agent to manage their business in an all-in-one paperless system. This system allows agents the ability to, again, be more efficient in their business because organization becomes effortless. Let's talk about the marketing collateral. That's always a concern for agents as well. Good news, the EXP Marketing Center has over 5,000 pieces of marketing material to choose from. And you guessed it, it's all in the cloud, so it's easy for every agent to simply plug and play. Need an open house flyer? We've got you covered. Need postcard mailers? Yep, we've got that too. Signs, business cards, social media posts, it's all there in the EXP Marketing Center. Simply plug in your info and you're good to go. Literally everything you need to run not only an incredibly efficient business, but also a scalable business is provided for you. It's just a matter of you deciding to leverage it. Now, if you still want to go into a physical office, we understand there's power and efficiency in that as well. You don't have to give up your physical office. Every EXP agent receives a Regis membership, so you can use any of their thousands of flexible workspaces all over the country. These spaces are beautiful and incredibly functional, giving teams of all sizes an inspiring environment to focus, collaborate, and do their best work. Work wherever your business takes you. Workspace locations are in every major town, city, and transport hub. Think of the opportunities with all of this at your disposal. Want to extend your vacation? Book office space in whatever city you're traveling to. Want to grow outside your local market? Now it's easier to hold your license and office in multiple states. These are the features of the Cloud Office, which is the first major component to EXP Realty. The second major component to the EXP model is the Agent Equity Program. EXP agents have ownership in the company as stockholders. Is there any other brokerage where the agents own a portion of the company? At EXP, we own the company together, a publicly traded, multi-billion-dollar company with zero debt. We're traded on the NASDAQ with all the big boys like Apple, Amazon, and Google, and our ticker symbol is EXPI. At EXP, when you sell your first home, each anniversary year, you get stock in the company. When you reach your commission cap, you get stock in the company. When an agent you brought to the company sells their first home, you get stock in the company. Can you begin to see how this creates an environment for collaboration amongst agents? We all own portions of the same company, so we're all working towards the same goal. When one agent at EXP wins, we all win. Now, if you're a top producing agent, we call them icon agents. You can get up to $16,000, your entire cap back in stock, if you hit certain production numbers and cultural goals within your anniversary year. This component is worth you sitting down with a notebook and pencil to do the math. It's incredibly powerful. On top of that, yes, there's more. There's also an agent equity program that you can enroll in if you'd like. It's totally optional, but totally amazing. Should you decide to enroll, EXP will allow you to take 5% of your commission checks and buy EXP stock at a 10% discount. I'm not sure what your financial advisor would tell you, and this decision is completely up to you, but as an independent contractor, this is a huge asset to my business. The third major component to EXP is the revenue share plan. Now, we need to understand that a revenue share plan is fundamentally different than a profit share plan, because revenue and profit, as we all well know, are two very different things. Revenue is total earnings of a company without any expenses deducted. Profit, however, is total revenue minus all expenses. I don't know about you, but my revenue line item and my profit line item look fundamentally different in the sense that one tends to always be larger than the other. If a business can show no profit, then a profit share plan has nothing to share. On the flip side, a revenue share plan always pulls numbers directly off the top before expenses are deducted. At EXP, when you sponsor an agent and they sell a home, you get a percentage of that commission. And that percentage comes from the EXP portion of the split, not the agent's. So let's break this down a bit, because whether you ever sponsor an agent at EXP or not, the revenue share plan is one of the most important components to EXP because it supports agent collaboration, which always helps the growth of an agent's business. Agents you directly sponsor or partner with are in your first tier, and you receive 3.5% of their gross commission until they reach their cap of $16,000. So the maximum revenue share you can receive from an agent in your first tier is $2,800 per agent. If you create 10 tier 1 partnerships with capping agents, you'd earn $2,800 times 10, or $28,000 per year. Now, when you've created 5 tier 1 partnerships with producing agents, that unlocks revenue share on tier 2, which are the agents your tier 1 attracts to the company. So tier 1 agents are the ones you personally attract, and tier 2 agents are the ones your tier 1 agents personally attract, and so on and so forth. And it goes down for 7 tiers. Now, your tier 2, you receive 4% of the gross commission from those agents until they cap, which is a maximum of $3,200 per agent on tier 2. So you actually receive more revenue share from your tier 2 than your tier 1, because you've expanded past your own business and have now focused on others. Creating circumstances for agents to collaborate is a big part of company culture, which is why you see agents building bigger than ever and more innovative than ever. As you attract more agents to the company, you can unlock more tiers. So when you attract 5 producing agents to the company, it unlocks tier 2. When you attract 10 producing agents, it unlocks tier 3, and so on until you unlock 7 tiers. As you can imagine, financially aligning agents into tiered partnerships suddenly changes agents' behavior. Instead of constantly competing with one another, we see agents collaborating on a massive scale. So instead of going it alone or paying huge sums for coaching, agents, even solo ones like me, are now able to tap into resources that have never been available to them. Let's be honest, real estate has never been for the faint of heart. It's an incredibly competitive industry that, if you're not careful, will consume you. It will consume you with demanding clients, never-ending transactions, and cutthroat colleagues. Not to mention the toll of being responsible for most people's biggest financial and emotional investments. The hamster wheel of transactions and the pursuit of continued growth keeps even the very best agent up at night. If you're not careful, it becomes a constant treadmill that is always picking up speed that you can never get off of because what you did last year always needs to be repeated, but better. Under EXP's model, with the opportunity to gain stock in the company paired with the ability to partner with other agents around the world and create passive income, which is a direct result of their expertise, agents suddenly have the opportunity to create multiple revenue streams. Instead of being held captive by the industry, agents with careful planning and diligent effort are able to insulate their businesses and, like other professionals, create an exit strategy. I want you to do a little bit of math for me, okay? Write down these numbers. The first number is 2.35 million. The next number is 4%, and the third number is $94,000. So what do these numbers mean? If you want to retire and you've worked really hard and been incredibly disciplined to save and invest $2.35 million, not easy to do. Most financial advisors will tell you that you can take 4% of that investment every year to live off of without eroding your principal investment of $2.35 million. If you had $2.35 million of investments and each year pulled 4% of that, you'd have created a passive yearly income of $94,000. Now let's take a look at another way to arrive at that number of $94,000 a year in passive income with revenue share. With revenue share, if you attract 5 productive agents and those 5 agents each do the same, you'd end up with 5 agents in your first tier, which would yield you $14,000 a year in passive income. If those 5 bring 5, you'd have 25 agents on your second tier, which would yield you $80,000 a year in passive income. Add those together, and you guessed it, you've produced $94,000 in passive income, skipping over the minor step of saving over $2 million. Good decisions always tend to have good byproducts, and this holds true in this model as well. So not only do I get to create an incredible revenue stream for me and my family, one in which we're able to enjoy the fruits of today, I now also get to collaborate with agents across the country and help them improve and increase their businesses. The opportunity for a solo agent like myself to be insulated with some of the industry's giants is profound. So let's play with some numbers, shall we? I told you when I saw the model, I did a lot of math and ran a lot of scenarios. I'd encourage you to do the same because we want to use data to make informed decisions in our business. Over the years, I've learned the numbers never lie. So you're going to want to run some numbers on this. What if you attracted 10 productive agents and they each did the same? What would those numbers look like? In that scenario, you'd have 10 agents on your first tier, which would yield you $28,000 a year, and 100 agents on your second tier, which would yield you $320,000 a year for a total of $348 a year or $29,000 per month in passive income. This is an incredible compensation for your contribution. Sure, it might take you 5 years to accomplish it, but remember how much you have to save and invest in order to create $94,000 of passive income for retirement. $2.35 million. I think we can all agree that that number would also probably take 5 years or more to accomplish. In fact, anything that produces an incredible result often takes time, talent, and work to create. This is no different. So let's be clear. Are all the agents you attract going to be fully capping agents? Of course not. That's like thinking every single one of your kids is always going to be a straight A student. And is every agent you attract going to bring 10 more with them? Again, probably not. Some will bring 0. Others will bring 8, and others will bring 18. Participating in agent attraction is totally optional. You don't have to do it in order to reap the benefits of collaboration that come from it. You don't have to attract any agents if you don't want to. But isn't it nice to know that if you do have a friend that decides to join the company, you'll be compensated for your efforts? At the end of the day, there are a variety of reasons that agents join us here at EXP. Some agents come for the cloud office and the robust business systems. It helps them sell more houses. Others come for the amazing education offered and the collaboration that can be created. Still, others love the ability to earn stock or obtain health insurance. And yet others just love the simple, low-cost fee structure, which is outlined as follows. Every agent in the company, and that means every agent in the company, is on the same commission structure. 80-20 split with a $16,000 annual cap. So once you reach $80,000 in GCI, you've reached your $16,000 cap and you go to a 100% split with a $250 per transaction fee. After you do 20 transactions at $250 each, you reach what we call icon status. And that's when you can receive up to your $16,000 cap that you've paid to the company back in the form of stock. After that, your transaction fee drops down to $75 per transaction for the rest of the year. By the way, for agents that work in high-end marketplaces and don't do as many transactions usually, the other way you can reach icon status and be eligible to earn your full $16,000 cap back in stock is to earn a total gross commission of $500,000 with at least 10 transactions. But back to the fees, there is a one-time $149 startup fee, which actually includes your first month's Cloud Brokerage fee. After that, your brokerage fee is $85 per month, which pays for all the systems. Then there's a $25 per transaction broker review fee to make sure all the I's are dotted and T's are crossed, with a $40 per transaction risk management fee that caps at $500 per year. You'll never pay more than $500 per year for E&O insurance, and that's it. EXP in a nutshell. The growth of this company is extraordinary. We're now at over 40,000 agents worldwide and growing every single day. EXP is the largest independent company on the planet, and it's the fastest growing real estate company in the history of real estate. Let that sink in. We're currently in the US, Canada, the UK, Australia, and we just opened in a whole host of other countries too. India, South Africa, Brazil, Portugal, and France. And as you can imagine, many more to go. The growth is astonishing to watch, and the collaboration and support are absolutely incredible to experience. If you'd like to join us, we'd love to have you. If you're not sure, share this video with your trusted friends and ask their opinion on it. And then do the math. Create a 5-year plan for yourself and run sample numbers under this model. Remove constraints and imagine what your business and life could look like. If you have any further questions, use the link below to schedule a call on my calendar, or come say hi on Instagram. You can find me at Beeler Homes. Listen, I'm on a mission to help more agents, especially solo female agents like myself, build businesses that better support our lifestyles, businesses that create new opportunities for growth, businesses that allow for long-term gains and will provide new opportunities for me and my family. And I'd love for you to be a part of it. You can build a robust and scalable business that integrates into your lifestyle, and I want to show you how. So glad you're here. Hope to talk to you soon.